What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. So, just wanted a quick check-in with stablecoins with you all. Now, we've heard a lot of different forms of rumours in the past regarding stablecoins, and there's a great deal of uncertainty in that world because stablecoins are the primo threat to the status quo. And what I mean by threat is that, do you remember back in the day when Facebook launched their Libra coin? We're going to go into this a little bit later on, but that really caused the biggest stir in the space back in the day because big tech, when combined with currency powers, equals bigger than any world government, because big tech have a user base in the billions. Okay, no bank has a user base in the billions right now. Okay, and so it would change the structure of society, not in a pleasant way, when you have a big tech company like Facebook who've been proven to be bad custodians and stewards of data, who have their own worldview, probably fueled and funded by the CIA and the corrupt FBI. We know that there's so much bad energy surrounding that corporation, and let's just say the status quo behind the Facebook. And when they released their DM coin, or their paper to create a DM coin, the Libra it was originally, and then it became DM coin. It caused a real ruckus in the world of finance, and this is when big corporations started taking blockchain very seriously. It wasn't so much Bitcoin; it was the stablecoins. Now, I'm going to bring a couple of things into your peripheral view, and it was recently an article that popped in front of my head. And Coinbase is said to be suspending USDT to its Canadian citizens. Now, that was a big red flag for me, because Canada is one of the big G countries, and what usually occurs over the water may end up occurring in our country, the UK, and the US, and so on and so forth. And I'm seeing a lot of interesting noise at the minute to do with global stablecoin regulation. So just a few articles that I'm seeing popping up all over the internet. MAS, and I think it's to do with Singapore. Yeah, Singapore among the world's first to agree on stablecoin regulation. Singapore. This is quite ex-CEO weighs in on stablecoin regulation, claims a boost for dollar adoption. Now, you see, they're not going to let a loose cannon like Tether, okay, be on the world stage for payments. Let's just get that all in our heads right now. And as we go down the line of this, hopefully we'll keep this short and sweet. We'll find out that the creator of the stablecoin Tether was a chap called Brock Pierce, who owns a corporation called Block One, a Hollywood star, and the co-founder of EOS, a young Bitcoin billionaire. There's a lot to this chap anyway. There's also a lot to be concerned maybe regarding just a random Hollywood actor coming out and creating these stablecoins out of thin air. And this is just my personal view on things, but having a snapshot now over the past 5 years of world finance, I believe that they won't allow a loose cannon to run amok in the world of stablecoins. So we can see through the Asia region, stablecoin regulation is ploughing ahead very quickly. This is from Forbes. Stablecoin regulation is slowly moving forward, and this is from April of this year. Seen by many as the tame part of the crypto space, regulation around stablecoins is slowly moving forward. And Forbes is a very well-known publication. Ever since the idea and concept of stablecoins made it to the mainstream financial conversation, these seemingly boring types of cryptos have proven to be just as difficult to regulate as more volatile assets as Bitcoin and non-fungible tokens. In both the House Representative and the US Senate, there have been multiple bills proposed seeking to set regulation and guidelines for stablecoins. None have been made much past the committee discussion, much less being voted into law. And so we're starting to see, I'm not going to carry I'm too far on the article, but I'm just going to bring it into your fore that there are stablecoin bills forging ahead in the US. In other news, we're going to come back to Evergrande in a minute and Michael Burry. But this is Danielle Dixon, and I mentioned her in my previous video. She is the CEO of Stellar, and she was on Bloomberg talking about stablecoins. Now remember, USDC is, I believe, is it on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's also on the Stellar network. Have a listen. If it'll play, will it play? My computer's just going crazy today. Let's reboot that, shall we? We'll see if we can get it. The reason to listen up is because Stellar's a payments network. All right, see if it's going to go straight off the back now.
We're here in Washington. I'm assuming you're having conversations around this. How optimistic are you on the regulatory front here in the U.S.?
So I feel like we need to get something done here in the U.S. in order for us to really set the standard, if we want to set the standard, which I think the U.S. government is going to want to do that. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to get something on stablecoins by the end of the year. And the reason why is because we don't have a choice.
Wow, just first of all, that's a sweeping statement. So she's been into Congress with a load of other people like Jeremy O'Leary, CEO of Circle, and they're going to look for a responsible actor in the space to take on the role of the US dollar stablecoin. This is what this is all about. And I can't emphasize how important this is. The same with the UK stablecoin, and don't confuse a stablecoin with a CDBC. Completely different animals, right? We have to keep our focus on what is developing. And you know, the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is that Stellar is also a very reputable actor in the space. USDC is. Ripple is, you know, the predominant wholesale facing market, but a stablecoin, remember, is retail facing. Do you remember back in the day when we were told that maybe that the XRP would be for wholesale and XLM would be retail? It's just a theory, but it's interesting because if the stablecoin system starts getting bedded down onto, especially the US dollar, you know, a USDC on Stellar blockchain, then this makes it a very interesting proposition. We've seen other things, saying the US House Committee published its draft stablecoin bill. That was in April of this year. We know there are draft bills going left, right, and centre in the US. The UK state crypto stablecoin laws approved by Parliament's upper house. Okay, so these are in the works, and that was in June of this year. So we've now got Singapore, we've got America, we've got UK, and Danielle Dixon, head of CEO of Stellar, is saying she is very confident by the end of the year the stablecoin regulation will come out. Interesting, right? So we've got Libra. It was the cryptocurrency by Facebook. They were the biggest threat to the banking cartel. And why was that the case? Well, every one of you has a mobile phone in your pocket. Facebook is a technology company, as is Google, as is Apple. Right. Facebook, we talk about now, has I think a 2.2 billion user base. Right? They've already cornered the market in socials. They've already now made marketplaces. They've owned Instagram, so they own a vast swathe of your digital life, including your digital information. And it would be a small step for them to make their own currency. Now think about tokenization. Think of the user base. If Facebook became a bank, every one of your 2 billion people on the planet with a phone with a phone in their pocket, with Facebook on their phones, sorry, I'm just going to sip of water, would be able to be banked by Facebook. Now the old cartels, the banking fraternity, the central bankers with nation state money saw this, and they almost had a heart attack. And this was the form of partners, which is a very interesting list. This was I'm going to bring this picture up. This was like the list of partners. Look at them. It's huge. Uber, MasterCard, Stripe, Visa, Vodafone. They were all just like, you know, and it was Calibra, which was the association. PayPal, Coinbase, it really drew a line for me, and it showed me who the elite actors were. Okay, eBay, it's Spotify. These are all the megacorps, and they were jumping into Facebook's lap. And this is why the central banks acted as they did, and why they had meetings in the public-private partnerships, and this is why they're taking blockchain very seriously, as I mentioned earlier on. So this was the catalyst. So we have this wonderful token, Tether, which is, according to many analysts, there seems to be a great deal of similarities between the Bitcoin price going up and the printing of Tether out of thin air. Of course, apparently it's backed by its reserves. I have not seen the audit of its reserves, but needless to say, they are a company that hides in the shadows, to be polite about it. Their creator was a chap called Brock Pierce, an American entrepreneur, primarily known for his work in the cryptocurrency industry. A child actor in Disney films, interesting. Mighty Ducks and First Kid. He ran an independent candidate as 2020 state president. Now, he is supposed to be a venture capitalist investor. He retired at acting at 16 and joined as a minor partner at Mark Collins Richter. And I don't even know who these people are. But the interesting thing is he was in gaming very early. Internet gaming. In 2013, Pierce joined brothers Bart and Bradford Stevens in founding venture capital firm Blockchain Capital, which was reported to have raised $85 million in 2 venture funding rounds in October. So let's see. Interesting, in March 2014, Pierce and a group of investors filed an offer to purchase assets of Mt. Gox using a Cypriot entity called Sunlot Holdings, the month before Mt. Gox had shut operations, filed for bankruptcy. Interesting. Pierce was elected director of the Bitcoin Foundation. Interesting. Several members of the Bitcoin Foundation resigned over concerns about the directors. Interesting. In February 2018, issue Forbes magazine, Pierce was named the top 20 wealthiest people in crypto. Interesting. Pierce was a co-founder of the currency Tether with Reeve Collins and Craig Stellers in 2014. Tether surpassed Bitcoin in trading volume, with the highest daily volume trading in cryptocurrency in the market in 2019. Tether is associated stablecoin because it allegedly maintains a $1 in reserve for each Tether issued. In 2020, in a court permitted by Attorney General of New York, a pursuit claimed Bitfinex, an affiliated exchange, did not disclose the loss of commingled funds. Anyway, he is connected to Block One and EOS and all these other companies, and we can do a quick Google to search on Tether proof of reserves and connections to China to find that there were a Bloomberg investigation published in October 21 found evidence that Tether's reserves did in fact include billions of dollars of short-term loans in Chinese companies, as well as sizable loans to crypto platform Celsius Network. This company is unelected, is just running amok in the crypto space, and I'm telling you, there's going to be a coming to the ground as regulations come in, as you're seeing them come in through Asia, the UK, and the other G20 countries. You've seen Coinbase really recently delist USDT in Canada. There is a reckoning coming. Okay, just to kind of finish this off on a different kind of tone. Some people like this, some people don't. I've told you for a while that I use this as a kind of a litmus test, this picture, and it's not for financial advice. It's a bloody cartoon bear, for heaven's sake. But it's interesting because these were posted, 4 or 5 years ago. And it has in the middle here a picture of I'm going to bring this up, of the Tether coin in the middle of this kind of, just beneath the fireplace. And my interest in this is that Tether is in this, what we call like a bloodbath on the Persian rug. Okay? It shows that Tether and it's Bitcoin Cash in the early days are connected by this Waves token. Okay, that's the symbol for an old cryptocurrency, Waves. And also it shows that the basic attention, or the Doge coin, is sitting on a basic attention coin, and it's giving you a metaphor that the basic attention is going to be on Doge, but Tether is going to be making waves. Now, if we kind of looked up at the picture, and people may think this is utter bullshit, that's fine, there's no problem, I've got no drama with that. If you feel that way, that's also cool, no drama, whatever. But if we go back to looking at the Christmas scene, and let's go full bore with this, we can see that in kind of, if we look at the calendar between September and October, we've got this regulation of some sort occurring. September, we're not too far away. And we've got this whole kind of surge of coins that's going through a crusher between September and December, and a big fire between October and November. Now, have we started to see the Great Purge, the storm that I was saying that might start occurring in September all the way through to March? I feel that the storm is coming upon us, my friends, and I would keep a close eye on the likes of Tether, because that particular token, that coin, is not going to be allowed, from what I personally believe, by the elite to run amok in the crypto markets when they are going to be regulated. I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but remember, Tether also, its liquidity is connected to the Bitcoin charts, and we've been told that the fall of Bitcoin could manifest. Anyway, please give the video a like, a subscribe, a follow, and drop a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are on Tether. Do you reckon it's going to blow up? A lot of people are saying it's fine. I've got a lot of questions regarding it, and I don't use it as a stablecoin. So also maybe factor that into your trades over the next few months, that maybe you might want to choose to use a regulatory compliant stablecoin, because that's what's coming out down the line. The only forms of currency that will be left will be regulated stablecoins and central bank digital currencies. The rest will be regulated as crypto assets. Okay? Securities potentially, or commodities, I don't know. There will be exemptions, I dare say, for the likes of a payment stablecoin, which I believe that it may be given to XLM and XRP and maybe some other tokens. Who knows? Bitcoin is a store of value. It's lost its position as a currency. Anyway, I hope that's well. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope it adds value to you. Please give the video a like again. And look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Be blessed.